Hello, everyone.
Welcome to Undressing
Undressing with Felicia Day.
and Tom Link.
I feel very mellow today, Tommy.
Oh, I'm super mellow.
And you look fantastic. You have a new camera. You have
I've got a new
upgraded your look.
camera. I've plugged into the Ethernet per your recommendation. I got this Elgato camera per your recommendation. If I don't love it though, I might return it. We'll see. We'll see. I think I like it.
It looks crisper than the standard webcam. And
my standard webcam is trash.
Yeah, and also there's something about the palette. It's very Bridgerton right now. Like if you look at the Bridgerton behind you, it's just very soft colors. You look like you're dressed as Eloise, who's my favorite, so.
Oh, I'm wearing a cool toned Bridgerton colored jewel tone shirt. Oh yeah,
And
her wrap there. I see her wrap. Yeah.
She looks really beautiful.
all
And
coming
did we
together.
see, oh boy, this episode gave us a lot of everything, didn't it?
Woo!
Wow.
Okay, before we get into this,
before we get into it, what's going on with you?
Happy almost birthday.
Yes. And also happy belated birthday to you, Tommy. We are June babies.
June babies. But I did see you the night before at your improv show, which was very funny.
I had such a good time, and having you there was just a treat. It was nice to be able to shout you out, Tommy. I wish you had been playing with us, actually.
I didn't know that there was going to be a cake there for my birthday. Not cake, there was cupcakes.
Yep,
It was
cupcakes
very
for
sweet
Tommy's
of
birthday.
our friend Brooke planned that, I guess. And when people are like, come see my improv show, and you're like, oh my God, every fiber of my being tells me to stay home. I had a little bit of that, but Brooke generally doesn't invite me to the Hammer shows because I think she knows we all feel like that.
Yeah, we all feel like that.
She did invite me to this one specifically, and I knew you were going to be there, so I was excited. And it delivered.
It was very funny. Everybody was on fire.
Funny.
We had a wonderful crowd. Like, it was almost sold out, which is like, it's a small theater, but like just having that energy was really nice. And I felt not neurotic and desperate and anxious the whole time, which is really nice because I haven't done improv in 5 years, Tommy.
You had remember we took improv class with Patrick and that was so fun. I missed doing that.
You should play with us. Ask Brooke. You would be great.
No, just ask me. I can't possibly.
I'll ask her for you. I will ask her for you.
But also, I'm not good at that sort of long form clapping in and out. I prefer just a short game. I mean, you guys are doing short games, but then it turns into clapping in and out, and I don't know. I gotta practice.
You could do it. You just you don't need to practice at all. Like I have not done it in 5 years. I was actually better than I ever have been, having not done it for 5 years, because you don't care anymore, and you're just like,
Yeah, you had a very laid back, cool energy that I was very jealous of.
Really? Oh
yeah,
my
gosh.
Just
like, I'm just doing characters. Yeah, I'm just gonna pop into that character. Oh, I'm playing Nicole Kidman. Oh, I'm doing an accent. Oh, I'm doing all this. It was great.
Well, I really enjoyed it. And I, quite frankly, Tommy did not want to do it. I was like, oh my God, I don't go out after night. My child was like, why are you leaving me, mama? And it was really tough. And I really was like, I don't want to do it. I was nervous. I mean, I've known the other people in the group for so long. It's like, well, no, I'm not getting social anxiety, but just the fact you're on stage with nothing and you have to make it all up. And yeah, you're right. But I think you would do amazing. You have to play with us. I'm going to ask Brooke next time she schedules us. All right.
I'll think about it. I have the same reaction that you do. No, I don't want to leave the house. No. Have you performed with Milana before?
I haven't. Milan, and she was great. You guys might recognize her from a bunch of movies. She was also the AT&T girl for the longest time. But
her last name? Milana
Weintraub, I think.
It's Milana, right? I'm saying, yeah.
Milana. Although now whenever I say her name, I'm like, is it Melania or is it Milana? It's Milana. Anyway, she's wonderful, really funny. She did amazing characters too. And yeah.
It was yes, Milana. It was nice to see ladies because I went to the Hammer show last time and Brooke was the only only lady. Um,
Uh-oh.
and it was just her and the men. And it's
Once
just
Jeff
better.
Lewis was Jeff Lewis on it was he on stage? Because when he's on stage, everything turns into something nasty, you know?
Yes, Jeff was on stage last time, but he was very funny.
He's so
Uh,
funny. He's the funniest guy.
but you and Brooke and Milana had a nice, just smooth, comfortable,
Thank
fun
you.
energy.
Well, if you're
Um,
in LA, you guys, come and see us play. It's not every month, but often. So I don't know. Just follow us and you'll see. And I will twist Tommy's arm to get him on stage because when we did improv, you are very, very funny. And I know you'd be really funny with us.
Now, question so your birthday's coming up this weekend, and you're going on a trip. Is that
I
a
am going on a
specific
trip.
birthday trip?
I have a convention, a supernatural convention, Seattle, but then I'm also taking
Woo!
my fam up there and I'm going to do a cool YouTube collab video and I'm going to take my kid to Pokemon headquarters. So like it's really a vacation for my child because she's on summer break right now. So yeah, and I'm very tense about it, Tommy. I'm like, you know what would be a better birthday? If I was alone in my hotel room staring at a wall. But the logistics of traveling and coordinating everybody's schedule and doing work during my birthday, I kind of would rather be catatonic somewhere, but I'll get to that later in July, I think.
I think this will be fun because Seattle has trees and water, which is fun for kids
Yep.
and adults. I really
It's a
love
nice city.
Seattle.
I know, but every time I go there, Tommy, it's really sunny and beautiful and it's seducing me because everybody I know who lives there is like 9 months out of the year, I am depressed and I get horrible. Like if it's gray one day here, I'm like, well, I don't want to do anything anymore. I might as well just hang it all up. So I don't think the seasonal depression thing would go well with me, but every time I go to the Pacific Northwest, it's beautiful. It's trying to seduce me. I
I
know it.
always end up there in the summer. It's sunny and bright, and I just it always does the same thing to me. I just want to move there. I'm
Yep.
ready. I'm ready.
No.
There's no state income tax.
That's true. That is nice. But also spend a month there in November or when it's
Yeah.
rainy and then you'll see.
But
Then you'll see.
also, I don't know. I've had enough of the sun. I'm ready.
I don't know, Tommy. Let's go up there like for 2 weeks in the worst weather and just see what we think. Because I'm going to tell you, I don't think I can deal with it. This whole this weather thing, not okay.
Weather.
Yeah, it was like it really felt like summer this weekend in LA and it was like up to 85 and I was complaining and then somebody online was like, "It's 105 here with 90% humidity." So shut the hell up, lady. They didn't say that, but that's what I inferred. So,
Well, I don't do well in warm weather. I think I'm meant to
oh.
be in fog and rain.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
I too am going on a trip. I'm going to
Where?
Thailand this weekend.
What?
I'm gonna be there for 10 days. It's gonna be so hot.
It is hot there. It is a thick heat. It's so
You know what?
beautiful and wonderful though. The food, oh my God, Tommy, every time you see a sticky rice cart, can you just get it?
I
Because
know.
it's
I
the
will.
best stuff in the world.
I will. It's only gonna actually be like high 70s when we get there.
Oh,
So,
that's beautiful.
but I think it's the humidity or something that's the
Yeah, it's so
problem.
humid. It's kind of like you swim through the air. Where are you going? Where are you going to be?
I'm gonna flying into Chiang Mai.
Oh, that's my favorite place in the world. You're going to want to live there. You're going to want to move there.
Well, I can because my partner Steve is from Thailand. He has his last year he went officially got his like what is it like your citizenship card or
Oh yeah.
whatever.
Oh my
So
God.
he could buy property in it. We could retire there. I don't know. We'll see.
I love it. I love this for you because Chiang Mai is like one of the most it's definitely like, oh, expat, there's a lot of expats there, but
Yeah, yeah.
the night market, the food, Tommy.
I'm excited. Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, and then we go back to Bangkok,
Uh-huh.
and it's we're like he sent his whole family there, and so we're picking up the kids, and his
Oh,
parents stay. So it'll
that's
be
so
fun.
cool.
I think we're going to an ethical elephant rescue place to visit
Yes. Make
where
sure it's
you
an ethical one, please.
it
It's a
is, I did.
rescue. Okay, good.
I
You
did
did
make
yours?
sure and, like, you prepare their food. There's no ride you don't ride there's no riding.
Yes. Okay, good. Yeah, it's really important because there are a lot of them that allow you to ride them, which is not okay. They're not rideable animals. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
I'm so excited. I wanna see all the pictures.
I'm gonna invite you over for a slideshow. It's funny that you say that because
Uh-oh. Why are you
sorry,
giggling?
I watched an episode ahead last night as I was watching this episode, and one of the comments it's not a spoiler because, Colin's
It's
been
fine.
doing his writing or whatever,
Yeah.
and he wants to sounds like he wants to write a book. Anyway, my partner Steve's comment was like, "Oh my god, that's like someone his book is like inviting someone over to show them a slideshow of your vacation photos. No one cares, sir. Nobody
It's
cares."
I mean,
So,
God bless him. He's a wonderful actor, but Colin, the character, does not have a lot to he's just not contributing a lot except his looks. I'm sorry. He's a little bit of a himbo, but we love him, right? He's a
yeah,
very
yeah.
sweet himbo.
So I won't force you to sit through a vacation photo slideshow, but I will send you some photos as we're going.
Well, I will tell you, Tommy, that I triumphantly did move my storage unit finally to $100 savings a month into a 5 by 8, and I got rid of a lot of boxes, and I brought the boxes with all my photos in them, and I bought a scanner, and I've been scanning every photo, and let me tell you, I am shredding a lot of pictures of cats. For some reason, I had hundreds of pictures of dead cats that I owned in the past,
Ah,
and I was like, "You know
no,
what? All I need is
no.
one, or maybe not."
Okay,
Gray
so what do you
man, I have
once
one
you've
picture of
scanned the
gray man.
photos, old
I don't
photos of yourself,
yes.
you scan them, and then what do you do with the photo? You
Okay, the good ones, quote unquote, the good ones that are not of a building or a tree and have a human in them that looks decent, I'm keeping those and I'm putting them in a box. And I'm confining it to one single banker box. The rest I cull ruthlessly, and I don't even scan I don't scan the crappy ones. I mean, I'm sorry, but we need one picture of a dead cat. That's it. I don't need several poses. And anything I took that doesn't have a human in it, it's a church. I'm not looking fondly back at this church and being like, "Wow, remember that time I saw that church?" I don't remember that church. If I'm
yeah.
in it and I look pretty and I can maybe post it on Instagram one day, I'll keep it. If it's of a relative who's dead, as long as they have their mouth closed and look relatively decent, I'll keep it. But yeah, I gotta be
But what do
ruthless,
we
man.
but what do we do with digital stuff where there's, like, repeat photos and, like, different poses? I mean, do we just keep buying terabytes of storage space because we don't feel like deleting it? And
I
then
mean, who has the time to go through that? I have 3,000 pictures on my phone, Tommy. I don't know what to
oh,
keep
I've
and
got,
get
like,
rid of.
30,000. I don't
I don't know.
do we, um yeah, like, so your kid's growing up in an age where we don't have to go to the drugstore and get our photos developed and print them out. Uh,
But I don't have one physical photo of her. So
yeah,
if
do you have any? Do you actually, like, print photos out or anything?
only for her school photos, so if somehow my phone got lost or hacked, it'd all be gone. So I do have backup hard drives over here that I've been trying to dump everything I have on, and then I'm going to organize it. But that's like I don't know. I wish I could hire somebody to do it, but I can't, because who's gonna like determine what's a good photo of my cousin or not? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's
Maybe there's,
very
like, a
difficult.
yeah.
I mean,
But
there are programs that you can go through. There is an AI program that they have, which I hate AI, but it will like at least tag every photo digitally with who's in it. So you could that's one of the only things that I've ever heard AI could do that I was like, "Oh, maybe I'll try it." It's kind of an expensive program, but with thousands of photos, I'm like, maybe that would be worth it because otherwise I just got crap and who cares? And then if you're backing it up on a hard drive, the hard drive's going to go bad. You need to keep every 5 years, put it on a new hard drive. And I'm like, what?
look, I still gotta go find my VHS tapes.
Oh,
I'm so behind.
I got
I
those out. They're right over there and I'm going to shred them, Tommy. You could do this.
I was wondering because when my dog goes to daycare or boarding, I get all these adorable photos, and I was wondering, like, is there an AI program that they just say which dog is which, and then the AI program tags all the dogs so
Well,
that
that's
it
the one that I found. It's like $200. I forget the name of it, but it claims that the AI now Google someone told me online that Google Photos will do it for free. But then
Oh,
I'm like, how much space do I need in Google Photos to be able to upload and store all these pictures? And really, isn't one picture of your dog enough? Or maybe a
n
handful? Do you need
now
thousands?
I have to
Oh,
have thousands.
okay, okay, okay. That's fine.
'Cause I also need to know, like, "Oh, okay, which haircut do I like the best so I can replicate that?" Oh, she got a really good haircut.
Oh, I mean, you or the dog? Because I was looking at
No,
a little
it's a
shag.
dog.
Okay, because I saw a picture of me with a little shag haircut, and I was like,
Is it
"I think
time?
I think I
No,
might do that." I don't know, but then it's like, am I at the age where a shag isn't cute? It's like aging? I don't know, Tommy.
I think it turns you into a Karen. It turns you into, like, the ma you know what I'm s or no, what is it called? Like,
Okay.
the manager special? The
No, I
"Can I
don't want
speak to the
that.
manager?"
Okay, no,
hair.
I'm not gonna do it, you're right. But what about
Speaking
baby
of bad
bangs?
hair, I
Should I
have
get
baby bangs right now
should I
because
get baby bangs?
I look like I have my hair pulled back. I look like I'm a lady and I have my hair pulled back, baby bangs right now.
I mean, I think you look cute, but I really want a bob. I'm gonna go bob. I'm gonna go, like, right above I need a choppy bob because I
A
just have to
lob,
get some of this length
long
off.
bob.
And then I was like, "Should I do bangs again?"
Do
What do you
not
think?
do do not whatever you do, don't do
Baby
that
bangs.
bob where it's angled from it gets short in
No,
the back and it
no,
gets longer at the front.
I won't do that. I'm gonna do right above the shoulders because I think that looks the best, but this doesn't really tell, but should I do bangs, Tommy? I don't
What
this doesn't really help, this shred of hair.
is your hair wavy? Would you have to put a curler in your bangs every day to get it to hang right?
My hair is stick straight, which I hate. So I always have to like curl it to do anything because I have too round a nose to have straight hair. It's just what it is.
That's not a thing.
It's what I
That's not a
claim
thing. Okay, but okay, when was the last time you had bangs?
a long time ago. And remember, I lost all my hair. So I don't even know if I have enough hair on the front to
Yeah,
make a
no,
proper
don't do
bang.
it. You gotta buy
Okay.
a clip-on you purchase a clip-on bang and you see how that looks first.
Okay. Thank you. I did that off Amazon and it was a vastly different color for my hair and it did not really represent what I wanted.
Okay, well,
Also,
maybe
I don't know, Tommy. I'm in that delicate point where I'm gonna do something impulsive, and I need to stop
oh,
myself.
dear. Okay. Um,
Cut me off.
okay, here's what I would do. I would actually purchase a human hair baby bang
Okay.
clip-in, and then take that next time you get your hair colored. I'm assuming that you do. I don't know. Who
I
knows?
do,
I don't
yes, I do. I mean, it's
um,
close to this color, but it's certainly redder
and then
in the version.
have them match the color so that you could have it as an option to wear around if you want.
So, but
Oh my god, I have to
isn't it
plug
weird to see somebody with bangs and then not bangs? Like, that really I don't know, it feels like deceptive
No, people do it
advertising.
all the time.
Okay, okay.
Hold on, I'm plugging my computer in. Wow,
Why?
Tom. So I forgot to plug it in.
Oh, boy. Just
What? Uh,
sheer hubris
unprofessional.
here at the Bridgerton undressing episode.
Am I
We're
hacked?
gonna get we're gonna get to the episode after you get back, okay?
Okay,
Because
to
this
be
is something.
okay, I did it. I did it. It happened, and we're ready. Are we ready? Should we be talking about the TV
Episode
show?
5, we are doing it. Bridgerton, episode 5, Tik Tok. Now,
Not that
this
kind of TikTok.
no, but Tik Tok. So
TikTok.
here's the thing about this episode. It definitely delivered. And we had quite a break, but we actually didn't because we watched it week by week. And so I was basically I rolled into the new season with no break and it was very, very sweet. And I have to tell you, this episode had it all. Everything.
This episode, I kind of
Oof.
love that they broke it up into 2 parts because then we got
Yep.
all even more press tours,
Yep.
and because this episode was like a premiere of its own season.
I mean, it was the start of something new because we left off in episode 4 after some shenanigans in a carriage, and basically Colin proposed to her. So, like, we start the whole episode off, and I'm just going to jump in. This is good. Okay, so we start this whole episode off with Penn going into the Bridgerton house with Colin after they did the nasty in the carriage. And there's this wonderful scene
And I
where
think, like, don't do it, girl. Don't go into that house. Don't go into that house. He's going to try and put it inside of you.
Yeah, but it wasn't. He was actually presenting them to his parents because, yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, hey, he's getting it all, lady. You got some, but he wants the rest. But no, he's like sweetly introduces her to his
His
family,
whole
and everybody,
family.
yeah, everybody but Eloise is happy.
And he's like, we are engaged. And they're like, what? Oh, I'm so shocked.
Squeal, squeal, squeal. But Eloise is stomps out, and Penn goes after her, and it's just like so sad because I want them to be together more than anybody. And Eloise is like, you better tell him. You tell him about Whistledown.
It's very tense, and I've never been more stressed out about anything.
Yeah, right?
Also, I wrote down that because normally I'm obsessed with the costumes for Penelope this season, but this specific dress was really giving Shelley's dance wear on Westwood Boulevard. It was very like those like sequins that aren't sewn on; they're kind of glued on. I don't know. It was a little.
It's not my favorite.
Yeah, and that
Not my
child with a broken arm can go to hell.
You
What's his
hate
name?
Gregory.
Gregory.
Yes.
Gregory, go away.
I don't understand how Hyacinth is a foot taller than him when she's an H and he's a G.
Because some of us boys were real shorties, while the girls have their growth spurts first. So
all right, no judges. No judges.
But it's okay. I still despise him.
You wanted
also,
to get. I hate it.
I don't know how I feel about finger blast in a carriage followed immediately by meet my mom. Like that's a little the contrast of that. And also, like, you want to watch? Should we all wash up first?
Tommy, you ruined everything.
I ruin everything.
Oh God, I can't even stop unthinking it. Oh my God.
He's just like, yeah, let's. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Tommy.
Meet my mother. No, not cool, bro.
Oh God. Oh boy. Okay. Wow.
And then we get the title sequence right after this, right?
Yeah.
After
and then yes, we get the title sequence, and then everybody is talking about Whistledown at the Woods, right?
By the way, the title sequence is the tree is normally just a tree. It's very stormy. It's looking like that. What was the Whomping tree from Harry Potter? It's like.
I did not notice that. I skipped over it. I just skipped over the credits. I always do.
It was very stormy. It only lasts like 3 seconds.
I know, but I don't pay it. I glaze over whenever, and it's not about me.
If it's not presenting new information, I'm not interested.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's interesting because this is the introduction. It's hard to start an episode with such a happy thing and then it descends into madness. And that's what this episode is about. So everybody's happy. Whistledown is going out and it's very positive. Benedict learns about Penn's engagement and Colin's engagement at the widow's house because he's bopping her. And then he's like reading Whistledown. He's like, whoa, which is.
By the way, the widow finally has a wig with movement. It does look very synthetic, but I'm going to give it a pass.
It's very like femme fatale from 1930s kind of vibe she's got. And I don't know about it. I guess
paired with her dresses that are very anachronistic as well as the hair. It's the wrong it's the wrong time period for me.
Yeah, it's very Art Deco, and I don't like it.
It's giving 20th century, and I don't know how I feel about it, but
yeah,
they're taking artistic license, so
it's fine. That's what they do, and it's a fantasy world. And then we cut to the Featherington house where the sisters both think they're pregnant, and they read Whistledown, and they discover that Penn is engaged, and it is so juicy, and the mom is so mad. It's
Oh,
so good.
so satisfying. And Pen is leaning at the door frame listening, and she's like, "Yes,
Mhm.
I did it."
Finally, my toxic mother. I hope she gets a comeuppance, but she probably won't. And then, we cut to Danbury and her brother at breakfast, and then
Who
Danbury
needs
is
fresh
like,
air when there's fresh gossip?
"Ho, ho,
I
oh,
am rather pleased by it. Those are some of my
wow,
favorite
it's a
things she said.
really."
They're reading the gossip papers, they're into it.
And then Danbury reads something and she's, "Uh-oh," and we cut to the queen who's nervous about reading Whistledown, and Whistledown is so nice that the queen is like, "Aha." For some reason, she's super, super happy, which is weird, right? Until we get to the next scene.
Oh, so maybe the queen was like, "Okay, who
Mhm.
would be, like, really happy right now?" If
Well,
she's letting down her guard.
exactly, she thinks that Whistledown's gone soft. So that's what we see in the
Mm,
next
mm.
scene when Danbury comes and sees her, she's like, "I'm going to," but we see that much later. Anyway, before that, okay, I have the one problem with this episode, and I
Yeah.
love this actor, but Anthony is the cheesiest actor with this kid thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't know why I'm not buying anything he's doing in this episode, but it's like somebody was like, "Bigger, happier," and he's doing it just to mock them because I don't buy anything with this baby thing. Because she's pregnant in the carriage, and he's like, "I will shout for all of Mayfair to hear." And I hate it so much. I don't know what it is. I love this actor, but I just this
It's
ugh, maybe it's the writing.
it's
I don't know.
like I feel like it's he seems like such an old man with the way it's like, I don't know, it's like, I don't know, it seems like he's too young to be like, "I
I'm sh
shall shout it from the rooftops that I have an potential offspring." Like, it's just very I don't know, you're right. I was shocked that they got them back for another episode, honestly.
I know. I was like, they don't wanna pay them for every episode. And he evidently was doing, like, 3 projects at once during this.
Yeah.
So, like, I get it, but you're right. I don't think it's the actor. I think it's he's just trying to sell what's on the page, which is just not very Anthony-ish. He's like a guy who doesn't scream to the rooftops. It's very
Yeah, you're right. Or they
I
trying to
don't
be
know.
like, "He's a changed man."
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. But I always hated romance novels when everybody's so self-satisfied with pregnancy at the very epilogue. I hate it. So maybe it's just me reacting to something I despise. People being happy about children.
Ugh, babies. I get it. I get it.
So anyway, anyway, Anthony is really shocked to hear about Colin, and then he does one zing to Gregory that I thought you would appreciate. "Oh, I always think
Yeah.
of you as the family pet." Didn't you love that line? Because you hate Gregory?
Yes. Ugh, go away. I also wrote, "Go away, Hyacinth." I don't know.
But they're I feel like they're setting Hyacinth up. Oh, wait. We see at the end of the episode, I think they're setting Hyacinth up with that other kid, but I don't know.
Oh, for sure. For sure, she's getting paired off with
The Mondrich kid, right?
the Mondrich lord. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Lord
100%.
Mondrich. Okay, that's what I thought, but I was like, I don't know. And she's so tall, and he's, again, it's an age thing, not a short thing. You know what I'm saying? But before that, we have a lot to go over. Then we get Eloise at Cressida's place complaining about Penn's engagement. And then we hear that Cressida's gotten engaged to this great grandfather of a guy. And she's not happy about it. And Eloise is like, oh, sorry. And I do hate Cressida, but when we see the scene with the guy and he's like, no dancing, no fun, we're going to have 8 babies. I'm like, oh, this poor woman. Kind of feel for her, that guy.
By the
Feel for her
way,
a little bit.
she's in a very subdued look for her. Did you notice that?
I
It was
did notice that. I
there's a very stark difference in her costumes this episode.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a good turn for her. She's not trying to get attention now, she's gonna wanna hide because she's like, "Oh god, I have this horrible husband now." I do feel bad for her. Even though she's awful and anybody she's inflicted on would be
I
terrible.
do for some reason, I just really like her now, and she's very sympathetic to me. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know what happened, but
yeah. I mean, they've done good writing this season, and she's a good actress, so she's really
Yeah.
giving us some layers, and she's like, "Yeah, I understand why some people are bullies and some people act bad because they have bad stuff happen to them, and it's unfortunate." The next scene is this one with Anthony and Benedict and Colin, and I like how they're trying to get him to dish on what they did together, implying that it's clear that they got it on, but Colin won't give it up. He's like, "No, no, I just love her." Which is really sweet. It made me like his character more. He wasn't gonna be like, "Yeah, guys, you should hear what happened in the carriage." Bow, 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 bow,
Yeah,
bow.
he's being very gentlemanly.
He has a couple of really nice turns in this episode where he feels very I mean, I don't respect it. He's too sweet and nice, but it's fine. It's fine. It's not my flavor. He's very sweet and very nice, but it is very romantic, and it heartened me to him. Then we cut to Francesca and Lord Kilmartin promenading with Mama. And he basically obliquely says, "I'm going to propose. Would you like that?" And she's like, "Yes, I would like that." So this is really aggressive the way that they're kind of fast forwarding her. What do you feel about this couple, Tommy?
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna end up together, and we're not getting a Francesca season, I don't think. I feel like it's not happening.
It's weird though, right? That's
Because
weird.
also, guess what I think? I think next season, the person who should be the focus of the season is Mama Bridgerton. There, I said it.
Yes.
Give her her own romantic season. God damn
I
it.
would love that. I would love that. But I don't know about this guy because if anybody Lady Danbury doesn't love, I am like, "You're sus." And she says Lord her brother is a rake. And I'm like, "Get the rake away from Mama
Yeah.
Bridgerton. She is too
Yeah.
layered. She's been through too much." Anyway, um, so oh, and I forgot we actually oh, okay. No, we don't forget. Over at the Featherington, Penn finally talks to her mom, and she is really not happy about her not getting married, not telling her about getting married, and she's so awful about Colin and how the Bridgertons like dropped them, and she goes on, and little does she know, Colin is right there listening,
Walks right in.
and
Heard
he
all of it.
and it's so beautiful the way he dresses her down in a kind but firm, but he defends Penn in the most sexy way. It was the best speech, and this actor is so good. And I was like, finally, after not really loving Colin, I am in love with Colin. Then
I right after this, I just wrote, "God, I love Pollen." I mean, Team Pollen,
Team Pollen, yes.
Penelope and Colin. And then I immediately changed my mind. I was like, "Oh God, no! Don't do it!"
Uh-huh. I was like, girl, don't give it up.
Because
But
it goes from that scene with the mom to then like, "Hi, let's go to my pied à terre and we can check it out."
yeah, he goes to her. His is going to be our house. I guess the Bridgertons own many houses. Okay, nice being rich. And basically, she's like, thank you. That was the most wonderful thing anybody's ever done for me. I have no underwear on. Let's go. And they lay down on a chase down. And this is I fast forwarded. I did not savor this sex scene
Okay,
because I was like, what are you doing,
okay,
Penn?
Felicia,
What? What?
Catherine, Felicia Featherington today.
Yes.
I, I, I mean, this was. What did I write? Okay, I wrote, "Do not let him fuck you, girl." Oh God, this is a romance novel scene. Definitely come to life. Then I wrote, "Don't fuck him at his fuck pad." Uh, oh my God, the layers. What am I talking about? The layers or clothing? I don't know. Yes, the layers. Oh my God, the clothes. It just there was this love scene was made for Gen Z, I think, because it's very it was, like, way too much information, like, I
Yes.
was, like, waiting for the camera to, like, romantically fade off into fade into
No.
darkness, but
No.
they gave us too many there was so many details.
It was so
So, did
long.
you fast forwarded it through it? Should I
I
tell the
did. I
audience?
had to. I was just like, I don't know, man. I feel like I was mad. I mean, listen, why am I being prudish? I'm not prudish about sex before marriage ever, except I'm like, Colin is he's just too horny. And you guys need to just wait because in this time I'm sensing disaster and I'm like worried that something's gonna happen to Penn. And I don't Even though
'Cause
Colin is very
obviously
smooth-tongued, I'm like, "Don't do it." I don't know why.
we know she's gonna get pregnant. That's what's gonna happen, and I'm very
Yep.
stressed about it. But
Yes.
also, it's so different I because Penelope is my best friend and also my younger sister, and I can't separate reality. So
Yeah.
it's like I'm watch and she's basically you're watching her lose her virginity in this
Yeah.
scene and she's asking questions which was I thought was interesting and cool. And
Yeah.
he's talking her through it and he's like this is what's going to happen and then it happens and she fully showed her tatas and I was like, "Ha ha!"
I
I
mean,
was screaming the whole time, through this whole scene, I lost my shit because, again, it was like watching my best friend have a very private, personal moment,
yes.
but,
I don't know why.
um
You're right, because none of the other ones I even had the impulse to fast forward. I mean, I had commentary, but, like, this one, I was just like, "Oh, no," watching through like, "Oh, no. Oh, is
and
it
he was
still
like,
going on? Oh."
you can touch me there," and she's like, "This?" He's like, "No, don't touch that yet." So I also think it's very she showed her tatas, and I love that in
Yeah.
the Q&A session with this male reporter, he commented on her body, and she was like, "Yeah, what's the problem? I'm part of the perfect breast club, and sometimes there's so much pressure being in the perfect." I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but
Yeah.
she really turned it back on this man, and I love her for that. And
Good.
it
She's amazing.
obviously a very just like cool and liberating moment that she's showing the tatas, but also, when are we going to see the dicks? Show us the
Uh-huh.
dicks if you're
Yeah.
gonna you know what I'm saying?
Did we see even butt? Did we see man butt? No.
We saw man butt.
Yeah.
We saw we saw his man butt,
We saw
which,
man butt, but no man front.
but, like, show us, like I don't know, it just seems unfair, you know?
I know. Well, breasts, I mean, let's be honest, breasts are in this weird nether region of like men can show them, women can't. They're fetishized everywhere, and yet they're utilitarian. So it's almost like, and then if you're in Germany, you see them all the time. So, like, I guess breasts are a little more soft than seeing
Yeah,
actual
yeah.
muffy dicks, you know?
And
So I
obviously,
don't know.
we've seen tatas and ass,
A
in
plenty.
previous episodes and
Hmm.
seasons,
Hmm.
but, yeah, it was just different this time.
It was very different. So anyway, yes, I kind of fast forward. I mean, I would play it, and I was like, "Oh god, there's no more music. I'll just get out of here." But
B by the
I'm happy
way,
to see them
it
trying.
lasted about 3 minutes, and then
Oh, so long.
they both climaxed, and they're
Yes.
like, "Wow, that was fun." And I'm like, "Oh, it didn't last very long." Um, and she says, you know, "Can we go again?" And he says, "Give me 2 minutes,
Oh,
or
no.
maybe 10." And I'm like,
Uh,
"Oh, the days of being able to go again right away. What's that like?"
we're so old.
When did I become such a prude? Ugh,
I don't
I'm so
know.
annoying.
No, I don't know. I was actually very I cried when Penn is like, "You're the most wonderful person." And then
Yeah, it
I was
was
a
so
little
moving.
yeah, and then I thought, "Oh, yeah, this is sexy." And for some reason, like, halfway through, I had to fast forward because 'cause I'm like, "I don't know. I don't feel safe. What are you doing, Penn?" I don't know why it turned on a dime. It was very
Because
effective.
we're really like, "Don't do" it's almost like the moment the "Don't do it, girl,"
Yeah.
while you're watching a horror movie because you know something bad will come from it,
Yeah, you're right.
which is like
Because
he's putting her at risk
well, you
because
know what? I think you're right because the lovemaking scene is usually at the end of a season or toward the end,
yeah,
and this is, like, smack dab in the middle, so you know
something's gonna
you're
go
right.
wrong
You're right. You're
because
totally
they got
right.
together way too soon,
Way too soon.
but it's, propelling the plot forward.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you.
Um,
Well, anyway, it happened. Then we have the Francesca Laurel Martin thing. So we know that these relationships are well in progress. And then Eloise, we have a scene with Eloise and Kate, which I kind of love because we haven't seen Kate in a long time. And I guess they're deciding that to keep the pregnancy a secret. And Kate is like, "Hey, go to talk to Colin, Eloise. Like, I don't know what's going on, but it's nice to see that sisterly thing between them. And I kind of want to see them more together because I like these two actors a lot."
I do. Also, what's it like to be so beautiful? They're
I
so
know.
incredibly beautiful.
I
And the
know.
costumes and the colors, just everything is so rich and lush. Again, lush. I just, it's so beautiful and unfair. Okay.
Yeah. There is a lot going on in this episode, and I feel like we're not digging into the characters because we're like juggling so much, but it's fine. And so Mama Featherington is at her house and she gets a warning that the lawyer's coming again. So that's kind of a thing that might go wrong.
She
And
has an
then Dan,
interesting blue
Mhm.
flower in her hair, which I think is like, oh, what is
I
she's
didn't
sort of
notice that.
surrendering to the, because obviously that's the Bridgerton color.
Bridgerton color. Oh,
And,
I did not
Featherington
notice
has been
that.
very green, yellow, and orange. So
Mhm.
it was shocking to see this blue flower in her hair. Like she's sort of like waving the white flag a little bit, maybe. I don't know.
I love that you noticed that. I do not notice that. That was amazing. I really genuinely hate her, so I'm excited. I'm not excited for the lawyer to come, but I'm sure that Penn's family is going to be in danger pretty soon. Then, just while Penn and Colin are having their intercourse, Whistledown is attacked by the queen. The queen basically sends all these people out onto the street, saying that for £5,000, which is like $350,000, it's like $350,000 modern money. She will give it to whoever unmasks Whistledown. And Penn is like, "Oh wow, I just had the time of my life, and now this is the worst thing I could possibly have heard." Really bad. So this is the thing that we were waiting for to drop. It wasn't the sex; it was the Whistledown of it. Later, Colin sits down to write in his book, and Eloise comes in after
And
Kate
he's
suggested.
he's in
Yeah.
that stupid vest. That stupid, stupid vest. God, I hate it. I
Why
get it.
can't
He's a man of the world. I get it.
I don't know. Why doesn't he go to the modiste and get a new
Buy
color
some
palette?
fabric.
I
I'm
don't
begging you,
know.
sir. I'm begging you.
I hate it too. Anyway, so Eloise is like asking Eloise comes in and then Colin asks for her blessing for the marriage and then it's very awkward and then he hands over the queen's request to unmask Lady Whistledown and Eloise is like, "Uh-oh. This is bad for my family now," which is actually very cool. I like it. We see Cressida with her disgusting husband, not because of the age necessarily. Like I'm not judgy about that, but the guy is an asshole. He doesn't want any music. He doesn't want any fashion. He doesn't want gossip. He wants 15,000 babies. And she looks down at the whistle down message herself and is like, "Ew." So
And I
she's
wonder when they're doing the coverage of that, I think to myself, oh, does she have a clue or does she think it's Eloise? Like, what does she know?
I think she's just like looking down and is like, if I can unmask this woman, I can get away from this horrible
Yeah,
because they
escape.
have nothing in common. I mean, the age gap, but also like literally he's horrible. He's gonna I mean, she is a terrible, twitty party girl. This is the worst match ever. And I hate that her parents want to do this with her, but okay. Then we have Featherington mom start to cozy up to Penn in a very creepy way, which is really awful. And she's like, "I'm going to come to your engagement party with you." And she's like, "Oh God, please don't, mom." And we have all that Featherington stuff going on at the same time as the Mondriches are kind of struggling with Will still working at the club. Now, what do you think about this? Because I don't understand the storyline. Is it just
Yeah.
that they're trying to make him quit his club for the sake of his family? Is that it?
Yeah, I think it might all be leading up to what we mentioned earlier about having his son in another season be paired off with one of the Bridgerton with Hyacinth
It
or
has to
yeah,
be, right? It has to be.
something. Because also he looks over to the kids learning about silverware and he's like mad that his kids learning about, fancy rules of the ton and whatnot. So I
Yeah.
don't know that I don't know.
It's very confusing where because I thought they got through like, hey, we could do whatever we want, and he reassured his wife, and now he's like being stubborn about it, and that he won't give up the club, and the ton is not going to accept him, and he's going to have to give up his club so his son can be accepted, right? That's basically where we're going.
Yeah.
Um, and when we see them at the engagement party, we do see the Mondrich kid and Hyacinth meeting, and you're right. It was like red flags went off on my head. This has to be happening with these two kids, right? But then they'd have to fast forward like 10 years, right? Or at least like 5.
Well, what are they? Are they like 12 right now?
Probably. And then yeah, 12 or 13. I can't grade children. I saw a kid the other day and I was like, "Oh, he's 18," and it was actually a 13-year-old. So I don't know. They look I have no idea.
I yeah, I feel like yeah, they're really I don't know, they're just building this up in a very sort of mysterious way that we've still same with the brother character, like we're still waiting to see the payoff of all of this sort of tension that they're giving us.
Yeah, and I will say that I will go after this and cheat and see who Hyacinth romance is. Even though, like, it's not the same as what's happening in the books, I will cheat and I will have that in my mind for the rest, even if I pretend I don't know. Okay, just to let
Oh,
you
that's
guys.
fun. I
Yeah.
like that.
So then, Hyacinth is there. I mean, Cressida is there with Eloise, and it's like, ugh, why is she there? Eloise invited her, and then we have this really big talk with Lady Bridgerton and Danbury about his brother, and the sister starts clocking that the brother and the mother Bridgerton are getting close, and she's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
basically is like, I gotta get some of these other single widowed broads
Yeah,
over
hooked
on
up with my
him
dad
so
because
that he
yeah, you
will.
can't have my best friend.
Yeah,
And then Penn gets an ultimatum, which is like, Eloise, come on, let Penn have her engagement party. You're being such a jerk. And she's like, if you don't tell her by midnight, I'm gonna tell him. If you don't tell him by midnight, I'm gonna tell him. And it's 7 p.m. and Penn for the rest of the night can't enjoy anything. And Cressida in the corner is like, I'm going to unmask Whistledown because I went with the money and I don't have to marry this guy, which I totally get. But we see a lot of stuff happening at the same time, mechanizing all this stuff.
I
Um,
will say Pen is in a very subtle pink dress for her engagement party. It was interesting why I wasn't sure why it was so toned
yeah.
down.
Why? I
Um,
mean, she's been in kind of blues up until now. And now it's like, why is she going back to pinks? I'm very interested in that.
and this whole sort of you know everything falls apart at midnight. It's very Cinderella.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
The clock is ticking. Oh, TikTok. There we go. Um,
Yeah.
oh, Cowper's got her Trisket wig on.
We got Trisket wig.
Trisket wig
Cressida,
alert.
she loves that thing. And then I hate then Gregory comes in with a top hat. I don't know if it was earlier in the scene or what, but I'm going to tell you this top hat is so irritating.
So
I
dumb. It is the dumbest story point I've ever seen.
they're
No,
trying
thank
to
you.
introduce these younger kids and yet they just can't do it in a way where I find them charming at
We
all. I
don't
don't know why.
care. We don't want it. We don't care. Uh, I I am opposed to it.
Oh boy. So Colin gives a big speech to the thing about how much he loves Penn, and which is lovely. And then Eloise, she's becoming an a-hole right now. She's like, she gives this terrible addition to it, and then Featherington mom adds it, and it's just like, can everybody not poop in Penn's engagement party? It's just so mean. I hate it. Go back to
It's
the chaise lounge and get your
oh,
vagina out. At least you were, at least having a good time.
it's so stressful to watch.
I know. So anyway, we basically have a little bit more of the group together. We have some more Gregory and Hyacinth. The Mondrich mom is making the dad feel guilty about not being around for the kid. And Cressida reiterates that she's going to unmask Whistledown. And they all play charades, which I think is really fun. I knew somebody was a gamer. Eloise and Penn are like going at it. And I'm like, these are the gamer girls. They are my girls. I love it.
but it's like a weird word game where they say give a hint for the first syllable and then the second syllable and then what the whole thing means and then they're obviously no one else is really getting a chance to play because they're just going back and forth.
Which I love. I'm just like, I just want them to be best friends again because they're the smartest and keenest and cleverest girls. And I'm just like, can you just not love each other again? And oh, by the way, all during this, Francesca's Lord Kildare is being like really socially awkward. But at the end of the episode, he does redeem himself with this little boot story, which I find to be kind of, but Francesca's into him. And finally, Mama's like, okay, I'm into him. I don't know. How do you feel about them? I'm kind of meh on this. I'm fine with them. It just feels like they're throwing her away a little bit.
I'm like, yeah, they can go get married and we'll be done with you. Because they're kind of, they're just they're kind of boring, so I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like you can have each other.
I mean, I thought I would be more into Francesca's because I'm a musician and I love the fact that she's a musician and she's so incredibly gorgeous. As we established, she looks a little bit like me.
Yes, she does look like your sister who's a model.
Yep, 100%.
And but I do think they're just kind of they're not interesting enough to want to watch a whole season, I guess.
There's gotta be a twist here. There's gotta be a twist.
The way they're establishing this character, I don't know. She's like a
real,
she's just like she's us. She likes to do boring things.
I guess. I mean, she's too regular. Yeah, she's too like me. I don't know. I'm just like, I need someone to be a lot more interesting than me to watch them on TV. Anyway, we get to the finale, which is a climax of drama. Everybody starts talking about Whistledown. Kate doesn't want to tell everybody of the baby. Cressida's eating up all this gossip about Whistledown. And in fact, she's like kind of inspired by like, well,
she's putting all these clues together. Like, wait, what? £5,000 could do what? Oh, this person could be their own woman because no one would want to be with them and they could be independent, etc.
Yep. And then we have Kate and Anthony. They share with the room that they're having a baby. Penn is having heart palpitations and breathing heavy. Cressida stands up and it says, I know who Lady Whistledown is. And you think she had put up, it's very wonderful the way they film it. You think she's put together the clues about Penn, but she stands up and announces,
it is me. I am she.
And I love it. It's the best twist in the world. And Penn.
So good. And then Penn fully passes out to the floor. And I was screaming, Penn! Ah!
Have you ever fainted? Have you ever fainted, Tommy?
I'm thinking, and I don't think I've fainted. I think I've almost sort of blacked out from being low blood sugar, but I haven't like fainted like that. Yeah. No, have you?
No, and I'm kind of upset about it.
Oh, you want to? You want to have fainted before? I don't
really. When I was a kid, I was like, Nancy Drew always was unconscious. Like, she definitely has a head. She has, like, probably just like a pro football player. She has, like, brain trauma and probably got Alzheimer's when she was old. But I always romanticized it because in all the books I read as a kid, everybody was either fainting or being knocked unconscious. And I was like,
same.
Why?
And they'd always sort of like wake up and there was no mention of like, could they have like no one was checking their pupils to see if they had a concussion. It was just like, oh, okay. I'm now in a cave and we don't know where the bad guy is.
Yep. I'm going to tell you, I'll always be a little envious. So anyway, that's the ending. That's the ending. I know you've watched a whole episode more, so I feel kind of guilty. I'm not up to your standard, but I'm feeling very tense. I don't like that Penn, my favorite, has been deflowered and now is on the floor fainting. She's being defrocked and deflowered. And I'm just hoping that things are going to turn around. I mean, Colin's going to have to find out about what happened, that she's Lady Whistledown. Something's going to happen with Cressida. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, maybe Lord Kilmartin will just like be run over by a carriage. And I don't know. Maybe that's it.
So I am assuming that she's not having a fainting spell. She's in fact having a a pregnancy moment, right? Like
No,
a
because she just did it 2 days ago. You wouldn't
could
fake
you
2
be
days.
pregnant? Could you if
No,
you did
not
it 2 days ago, you could be pregnant immediately, right? And not
I
know
don't
it.
think
But would like morning
immediately.
sickness or anything start to
It'd
take
take at least
effect?
no, it'd take a couple weeks before you get the hormone. Basically, morning sickness and all of that is hormonal. So it's like the hormones have to be, like, pushing through. There's no way
Mm.
that she fainted with one thing. That's just not.
So just a good old fashioned panic attack or uh, you know, panic attack combined with corset.
Mhm, mhm.
Um,
I'm just telling you, it I don't know, maybe. I mean, she definitely is in a corset, and sometimes some of the dresses they have her in, I was like, "That poor girl cannot breathe right now." But
I'm just
I
laughing at my notes. One
yeah.
note is just Eloise is a cunt. Um,
Wow!
wow, I just was so mad at Eloise.
She
The
was
boot,
horrible this episode. She was horrible, and I hope she turns around, okay?
yeah, the
Ugh.
boot story is so sweet. I really came around on that.
Yeah,
Every
the boot
word that
story
they're
was sweet.
every word that they're about to guess in the game sounds like I would just be guessing penis for everyone.
Yep.
Fall in love and make baby because you gonna die soon. Why did I write that? What does that mean? Fall in love and make a baby because you're gonna. Oh yeah, it's just like the pressure of that world. It was just like, yeah, you gotta fall in love. You gotta put that baby out because at 45, then your body is done.
You're done. I
You're
mean, in a
supposed
lot of ways. You do not wanna
you're a
have
grand
a baby at 30, 45. Let me just tell
you're
you.
a
I
grandmother at 40.
For
Um,
sure. My grandmother was a grandmother at 40.
really?
Yeah, because she had my mom at 20, and my mom had me at, like, 19 or whatever.
I mean, imagine like if you obviously in the world of the ton, like these people have money, so you could afford a better life, and you
Yep.
probably were living longer. But imagine being a poor person during this time period. Like you died everyone just died at 45 because
Mhm.
that's how long human bodies were made to be around without like medicine and vitamins and things.
Well, I mean, yes and no. Now, this is yes. I mean, the we were if you could live a long time, but you're right. There was a lot more death. I mean, just
Yeah,
war and
what was
plague
the
and all of that.
human I'm curious what the human life expectancy was in this. What year are we in, by the way?
I
Is
think we're
this
in oh boy,
18
17. No, 18. Really? Maybe.
What is Regency? What is Regency era?
Bridgerton. Time period of Bridgerton.
Regency.
Regency. Okay, you're
Mm.
right. 1813 to 1827. So let's see life expectancy. Let's see in the 18 Regency England. Okay. While the wealthy privileged classes enjoyed all the refinement of Regency culture, the working classes were desperately poor with an average lifespan about approximately 22 years. What?
Oh my god!
40 for men and 42 for females. The median at death was 45 and 47. The
Oh
life
my god, I
expectancy.
was right. I was talking out of my ass and I was right. Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
god.
45.
That's so what? Is that true?
We would be old and decrepit.
The
Wow.
rich lived 20 years longer than the general population. That is horrible. Less than
Wait,
one
why does
fifth
that
of people.
say
This
approximately
is
22
crazy.
years? 22? But what does that mean? I don't
Okay, the Jane's lifetime of
40
41 years would about average or slightly longer, Jane Austen. But that was 1775, but wow.
40 years. Oh my god.
This is
God,
wild.
I mean, thank goodness. Thank science for penicillin.
So Danbury is like decrepit.
Wow.
I don't know about this. I gotta look more into this. There was just, I mean, I guess it's only that age is only because there was so much, ill health, disease, war, all of that. It's not because people would die, just because. I mean, the human lifespan was 80 or 90, right? Potentially, but they lived so badly. That's
Well,
so
before
horrible.
I mean, because like what? Elizabeth I lived to be in her 70s.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, exactly.
So like you could, but like there was just too much.
Oh my God. Okay, Tommy, I don't know how I found this. So the average life expectancy from birth in regions and time periods, Rome and Egypt, 33 to 258 CE, 24. England, 1300 to 1400, 24. But that was when the Black Plague was there. 1500 to 1550, 33. 1600, 37. But then in 1700, it dropped again, maybe because of war. During this time, 1800 to 1826, 40, which is still very, very low. And then around the world, it's about the same. So the average lifespan throughout history is about 24 years. Now
20
we're all living.
Wait, you're saying 24 years was the average throughout of all of history up to like.
Yes.
So no wonder you're like, gotta get married at 13.
The most significant difference between historical mortality and modern is that child and infant mortality was so high before vaccination, water treatment. Women would have around 7 children and half would not make it to adulthood. Wow. Guys, don't time travel. All right? Just don't time travel.
I mean, obviously there's so much happening in the world right now, but like we are so lucky to be alive at this point in history.
Yep. Global life expectancy from birth now is roughly 3 times higher than in pre-industrial times, 73 years. In the least developed Sub-Saharan Africa, life expectancy from birth can be as low as 53 years. So there's a big discrepancy between like it's 84 in Japan, 82 in some Nordic countries, 73 overall. So yes, if you are living in the certain areas of the world, you can live 3 times as long. So basically, we make fun of Gregory and Hyacinth, but it makes sense to get married at 16 because you're only going to live maybe twice that.
Yeah, they're middle-aged right now.
Oh, that's depressing.
Dude, we got so dark.
So dark. Anyway, we'll leave you with that. We are going to go on vacation, so we will not be back with episode 6 until after July
like around July 10th.
Yeah, so we'll be back on it. You guys enjoy. Don't read ahead, or if you watch ahead, enjoy it without us, and we'll be back.
Okay, thanks for listening to us.
Bye.
Oh, I forgot to play the music.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Thank you for being here.
Well, there's for the YouTube. There, you guys get some play out music.
Bye.